With budgets, we want them to be flexible because sometimes unexpected things happen, especially if you own a house. Unexpected expenses could come up. Those aren't the only type of unexpected expenses. There are other examples too, okay? Where you end up with some sort of cost that you did not see coming for whatever reason. Can you think of something? Or was it paid for you? You ever have an unexpected expense come up?
Like today, I have to buy new work shoes because I was waiting for a puppy and he ate them all.
Okay, that's a perfect example. Having to buy new work shoes because a puppy ate your old ones. Remember, it doesn't have to be a huge unexpected expense, but it's still enough because it's all in relation to what you make. I mean, chances are you guys are probably not making several grand per month just yet, okay? So if you got to pay $100 for something, that's probably a significant expense to you guys. Okay, here's an example. So Savette shares an apartment with Francis. They split the cost of rent, internet, cable, hydro, water, and apartment insurance. So here we are told that the rent is $1,080 per month, internet is $85, cable is $50, hydro is $47, water is $25, and apartment insurance is $500 annually. So that works as a server, earning $693.19 bi-weekly, plus around 400 in tips. Not bad. And these are the other expenses: cell phone, bus pass, doesn't have a vehicle, groceries, clothing, personal care, entertainment, also some annual expenses for a vacation planned, subscription memberships. So taking all that into account, we want to make a budget for the month of June. So here we go. Remember, it's not, for a lot of these things, we just write them right in. But for some of these things, we have to do a little bit of calculating, okay, before we write the amount in. Let me just get to, where's my, there it is. No, that's not it. There we go. Okay, so let's just go through, starting from the top, fill in everything that's listed. So rent, $1,080 per month, but split. How much do I, so I got to find rent. How much do I put in under rent? $1,080 per month, but split evenly. So it'd be 1,080 divided 2, $540 for rent. Internet is $85 per month. Here's the internet entry, but it's split. So 85 divided 2 will give me $42.50. Cable, $50 a month. Divide 2 because it's split. So $25 a month. Hydro is 47. So hydro's up here. 47 divided 2 because it's split gives me $23.50 per month. Water is 25. There's no specific entry for water, so we'll put it under other. And it's split 25, so $12.50. The apartment insurance is $500 annually. So I'm going to put it under home insurance. How do I calculate the month? How much Sabette pays per month here? If it's 500 annually and it's being split. If it's 500 annually, how do I figure out how much it costs monthly? Come on, ladies. You divide it by 12. That tells you how much you pay per month. But we also have to divide that by 2 because they split the cost. So 500 divide 12 divide 2 will give us $20.83. So we've covered everything that they split together. What about Sabette's income? So we have to go up to income. He earns $693.19 biweekly. So every 2 weeks. How do I figure out how much he's taking in per month? Every 2 weeks. So because, yeah, I have to multiply it by 26 to find out how much he's making per year, because there's 26 2-week periods in a year. And then I have to divide by 12 to get the cost per month, which will work out to $1501.91. We had this discussion yesterday for those of you who weren't here. Why can't I just, if he makes $693.19 every 2 weeks, why can't I just times it by 2 for the month? Because there's not exactly 4 weeks in a month. Sometimes there's there's only 1 month that has 4 weeks in it, and that's February. This month has 4 weeks and 3 days. So we have to change it to year and then divide by 12 to change it to month. The tips, well, the tips I'd have to calculate per month. 400 every 2 weeks times 26 tells me how much is made in a year in tips. Divide 12 tells me how much is made per month in tips. And that works out to $866.67. So I can total those to get the monthly income of $2368.58. And once I have the monthly income, I can figure out how much monthly savings by taking this times 0.1, 10%. And that gives me $236.86. So taking in $2368.58 automatically pays himself first. $236.86 goes into some type of savings account. But then we have to calculate all the rest of his expenses. And there are more expenses that he has to pay individually. One thing I forgot to add to this question, or maybe I did. Did I do it here? Oh, I did. Good. So now let's fill in the rest of the expenses. Cell phone is $50 a month. So under phones, $50 a month. Bus pass is $56. So bus pass would go under vehicle transportation, other. Groceries, $210. Clothing, 50 bucks. Clothing you will see on the second page of the budget. Personal care, you will see under miscellaneous, $15.35. Entertainment expenses, movies, going out somewhere, bars, $115. We've also got some annual expenses, a vacation of $900. Well, either saving up for a vacation of $900 or paying off a vacation of $900. How much do I pay per month? If it's 900 for the year, 900 divide 12. And that will get me, make sure I've got it right here, 75 bucks. And subscriptions, memberships are $303 a year. So to figure out how much per month, I take amount for the year, divide 12. 303 divide 12 will give me 25.25. No medical expenses, no debt repayment. So we've covered all the costs, all the expenses. So we need to find the total expenses by totaling up each section and then adding those sections together. So under house, or in this case, apartment stuff, we add up these four amounts. You don't pay property taxes when you rent, by the way. Total this up and we get $596.83. Telecommunications section, add all these up. Oh no, I made a mistake. Are we sure? Yeah, cable is 50 divided by 2. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm going to get a slightly different answer here. Because I didn't split it in. I didn't split the internet or cable in two. Shoot. So what's this section going to give me? 50 plus 42.50 plus 25 gives me 117.50. Under the vehicle transportation section, there's only one cost, so the total is 56 bucks. Under food, there's only one cost, so the total is $210. Under clothing, there's only one cost, so it's 50 bucks for that section. Medical, there's nothing. Miscellaneous, we have to add some stuff up, and when we add it all together, we should get $230.60. Nothing under debt repayment. So to get the total monthly expenses, we've got to add all these sections, these subsections up. So 596.83, 117.50, etc. When we add all those up, and mine is going to be slightly different. How much is mine going to be off by? 185 minus, actually I'll just add it. 117.50 plus 596.83 plus 56 bucks plus $210. plus $50 plus nothing plus $230.60. That's not right. What happened here? Sorry, I need to try this again. Okay, our expenses, total expenses, $596.83 plus $117.50 plus $56 plus $210 plus $50 plus $230.60. $1260.93. That sound right? Yeah. Whoops. So the total monthly expenses are $1260.93. Just going to confirm that. $185 minus $117.50, $67.50, $67.50 plus $1260. $1328.43. Yeah, good. Okay, corrected it. Okay, so there's the total monthly expenses, $1260.93. So to summarize, our monthly income from the first page was $2368.58. We put 10% of that away into savings, so $236.86 we take away. We're going to have to take away. We're going to have to take away all the monthly expenses, with totaled up to $1260.93. So the total amount being paid out is the sum of these two. So it's $1260.93 plus $236.86 gives us $1497.79. And to find the surplus or deficit, we take the total monthly income minus the savings and expenses. And we're going to be at a surplus, which is nice. And we're going to be at a surplus of $870.79. Pretty good shape. That's a pretty substantial amount per month. So clearly, renting with somebody is beneficial in terms of being able to not only put savings away, but also having a surplus every month for a budget. However, this is where we got to be flexible. If you look at B, Savet and his roommate had a fight, Francis, and Francis said, forget this, I'm leaving. So now Savet's got to figure out, well, can I still afford to stay here? Or can I go, or do I have to go somewhere else cheaper? So we have to adjust the budget. You don't have to create a brand new budget. You just have to adjust the amounts that are relevant. Is his pay going to change? How much he gets per month? No, it's not going to change. Okay, having a roommate has no impact on that, which means that how much he puts away in savings is not going to change. What are the only things that are going to change? What's the only thing that's going to change because his roommate moved out? Well, or in other words, whatever they split. So whatever they split, we have to change. Everything else, we don't have to change. Groceries, bus pass, he pays for by himself. Cell phone, he pays for by himself. Groceries, clothing, personal care, entertainment, vacation, subscriptions, pays by himself. We don't need to change those. But we do need to change all these monthly expenses here under house, condo, apartment. Because they split all this before, but now he has to pay it all. So for the rent, he now has to pay $1,080. For the apartment insurance, he now has to pay 500 divided 12, or 2083 times 2. Where's my amounts here? 4167. Hydro, he's got to pay the whole thing. So he's got to pay 47. Water, he's got to pay the whole thing. So he's got to pay 25. So that means this section is going to have a new total. And its total is going to be 1,080 plus 4167 plus 47 plus 25. His total apartment related expenses are now 1193.67. Significant difference. Does his phone expense change? No, because he pays for it on his own. But he did split internet and cable with his roommate. So now he has to pay 85 and 50. Which means he now has to pay 185 per month for telecommunications expenses. So a little bit more there. But everything else stays the same. Income, contributions to monthly savings, other expenses. Because the other expenses he paid for by himself anyway. Only the ones that he split have to change. But it is going to change my total expenses for his total expenses. So his total expenses are now going to be $1193.67 plus $185 plus the other expenses. 56 plus 210 plus 50 plus 230.60. So the total monthly expenses are now $1925.27. Which means this is $1925.27, which changes this total to $236.86 plus $1925.27 gives me $2,162.13. So the new amount he's making per month, it's still a surplus, which is good because the total monthly income is bigger than the savings and expenses by, but it's reduced, obviously. $206.45. Still a surplus. So can he afford to stay there? Stay in the apartment? Yeah, he can. If he's comfortable with a reduced surplus. I mean, like, it's going to be, it's over $600 a month less now he's going to be having for a surplus in his budget. But he's still going to be having a positive amount, and he's still going to be putting 10% away in his savings. Maybe he might want to look somewhere else down the road that's a little cheaper than $1,080, but these days trying to find something for a decent apartment for less than $1,000 is virtually impossible. Okay, it wouldn't be the greatest places. I mean, now you're looking at, if you're paying, like, you could get a decent apartment by paying $1,000 per month if you had a roommate. Because really, I mean, some, you know, the better apartments, they're going to be running probably $1,500 to $2,000 per month. But you might find a deal somewhere. Okay, so yes, he can still afford to live there. I am going to stop there for the time being.